minute, please.
Take your time. Let me know whenever you're ready.
Let's see. I could go with a sausage biscuit, or bacon, egg, and cheese, or gravy biscuit. Man, there's just too many choices. Morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Monday Coffee Conversation. Got mine with me. Hope you've got yours. Let's get into the Word. Man, I have a hard time when I go to a restaurant or when I'm sitting at a drive-through window figuring out what I want. There's a song on the radio, or has been at some point, says, I don't need this menu. No, I don't. I know exactly what I want. That ain't me, because I could sit there, and if it wasn't for cars behind me, I could sit for 10 minutes trying to figure out what I want, because we have so many choices to choose from on that menu board or on that menu you're looking at inside of a restaurant. And they're all good. I mean, I like to eat. I love it all. But what do I want right now? Do I go with this, or am I going to regret it if I don't get this? And knowing that once the meal is done, you're not going to sit there and say, well, I wish I'd have got that. Because you're going to be satisfied and the hunger is going to be gone. But it's still just hard to do it. And we know about the classic man and wife argument. Honey, where you want to go eat? I don't care. Well, let's go here. No, I don't really want to go there. Well, how about we go over here then? I'm not in the mood for that. Well, tell me where you want to go. That's, that's one of the classic things is deciding where to go eat. And we all go through all this stuff, and we all have so many choices that we can make it throughout the course of a day. It doesn't have to be an exciting day, a day with a lot of stuff going on, just any day. You wake up. What am I going to wear today? Am I going to take this route to wherever I'm going, or am I going to take another route? What am I going to do when I get there? Should I swing by here? Do I need to stop and get gas? Another big one. We make a choice a lot of times, I should get gas before I go home. But we don't, because we'd say, I'll just wait and get it in the morning. And then that just happens to always be the day you're running behind, and you have to rush and get things done because you made a bad choice the night before. I want to share a scripture with you this morning from Deuteronomy 30, and it comes from verse 19. It says, I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live. And we have, all kinds of choices. Like I said, in a regular course of a day, we'll make countless number of decisions. Going to wear this pair of socks? Going to wear that pair of socks? Should I take a jacket with me? Is it raining? This, that, and the other. Should I go work out, or should I just take a nap? That's a hard decision. Sometimes them naps are they're like very tempting, and they're like the old sirens in mythology. They just call your name out in a beautiful voice, nap, nap. But we have all these different decisions, and a lot of them, whether you wear this pair of socks or that pair of socks, don't make a difference. But a lot of the choices we make throughout the course of the day, whether we really feel like they're important or not, they are very important. And not only for that day, but for weeks or years later down the road, and maybe not even just for us, but for our kids and our grandkids and whoever else that we may be around. Say you want to buy a car. That's a pretty big decision. Or buy a home. The choice you make on that will not only affect you, but it will affect your kids if they're still living at home. Could affect your grandkids if it's a huge amount of debt and something wants to happen to you. So we have to look at all these decisions we make. And God says there that you would choose life. Life and death is before us as a choice. Good and bad is before us as choices. And he says that he would love for us to choose life through his word. And we're faced all the time with all of these. You get emails from work. Am I going to respond to them? If it ticks me off, What kind of attitude am I going to have? You know, we're always got choices. And though some may be insignificant, when it comes to the bigger ones or even small ones that we wouldn't think would mean anything, it'd be so good to just have an answer book right in front of you. So good to have, you know, like a key or a guide like you do on a map. You got your key with your symbols over here that show you what everything stands for. But God has given us an answer key for all the decisions that we have to make. As Christians, we have all these things that God says in His Word, and if we seek them first, if we look to that answer key, then we can be assured that the decision we make is right. Now, not everything in there is wrote out plain as day in the Bible, so we have to go to God in prayer. If you're looking at a big purchase, if you're looking at a job change or a career change, and you sit and say, well, this is what I'd like to do, or I believe because of what I feel and what I think that this would be the best option, but that's not always the best option in God's eyes. So we should, when it comes to a decision like that, we need to go to God in prayer and get His input. We need to get His input on what we need to do in all these choices that we have. And though it may sound insignificant and may be insignificant, it don't hurt to go to God and say, God, should I take a coat today? God, what socks should I wear? It's not like we have only a certain amount of prayers that we can use in a day's time or in a week's time, and we don't want to worry about wasting them on frivolous things. No, we can go to God with anything, and it's unlimited. Remember, now a lot of you kids won't know what this is, or you younger folks, not just kids, but when cell phones first came out, you had minutes, and you could only call for so long until your phone just didn't work anymore. I know, shocker, right? But say you had 500 minutes in a month. That's the longest amount of time that you could stay on the phone, and we had little tricks from like 8 o'clock at night till midnight. It was either it counted as a half a minute for everyone you was on, and sometimes it was free. So most of your talking on the earlier cell phones, they were late at night. Text, we had text limits. You could only send out 200 texts in a month. Some of y'all can't get through 2 hours without sending out 200 texts, or 30 minutes even, because it counted the incoming and the outcoming. But God's not like that. God doesn't have a certain time of day when it's better for us to talk to Him, and He doesn't have a limit to where we can only come to Him for certain things. So any decision that we have to make, any choice that we have in front of us, we are able, and we should go to God to get His input. There's nothing wrong with looking at the Word. We should go to the Word too. And if we can't find that answer in the Word, then we go to God in prayer. And the best way is to use both. Talk to God, see where He will lead you in His Word, find that, read it, meditate on it, and then say, God, what is this showing me? In my situation I'm in right now, based on this decision I have to make, what is this saying to me? What are you trying to let me know? So with all these decisions we have to make, and it's all the time. It's like all the time. Do I want to go mow the yard today? Do I want to wait till tomorrow? Do I want to do it right now? Do I want to wait 2 hours? Well, is it too early to plant garden? Yes, it is right now. But shortly, we'll be asking that question. Is it okay to go ahead and put tomatoes out? Or will there be another big frost this year? And we have to, whatever decisions we are attempting to make, we need to use God's wisdom, not just our own, to make those decisions. So whatever choices you've got, whether it's to go eat, or whether it's whatever, go to God first. And it's a little funny to talk about asking God, where do I want to go eat? But if you have goals in your life as far as a fitness goal or something that the doctor has said, don't hurt to ask God, God, should I eat this or should I eat that? Because sometimes we know, but we want that little extra push, and that confirmation from God will lead us into the right and better choices, not only in food, but in everything. Young folks and old folks, but you're getting ready to go to a next step in a relationship, or you're looking for a relationship, you go to God and you ask His guidance on what to do and what steps to take. And listen, when we ask a question, we have to listen. If we went to Google and asked whatever we asked Google, and as soon as we started typing or stopped typing and hit enter, we shut the lid on the laptop or we turned the phone off, we'd never see what the answer was from Google. If we pray to God and ask Him things, and then we just get up and go about our business without listening to Him, we don't know what His guidance is because we're not listening. So go to God, go to the Word, listen to what He has to say for any decision that comes about you. Because sometimes the things we want ain't what God's want. Sometimes the things that we think for the best, God knows better, and He'll lead us in the right direction. We hope it's been a blessing. We hope you've enjoyed it, and we hope in some way that when it comes to a time to make a decision today or tomorrow or whenever, that this will come back into your remembrance. And you'll go to God first and foremost before you make that decision. We'll see you guys next time on the Monday Coffee Conversation.